Hello, BookTube. I'm Peg, and welcome to my channel and my Vlogmas of the Day mystery novel. Can you tell I'm in a different place today? I'm again visiting my mother in the Midwest, and she's the artist who paints these pieces of china for the holiday, Christmas in this case. If you've been a long-time viewer of my channel, you can remember I was here at Halloween when it was all witches and pumpkins up on this display rack. Anyway, after I had such a bad book yesterday I had to bail on, I wanted to get something really new and different today. So I do have a lineup scheduled, but I kind of went outside that to talk about a book that actually I just got my hands on yesterday. I had ordered it, and I think it's really going to be a good one. I've read enough to talk about it anyway a little bit. The Rules of Backyard Cricket. This is the Australian Ned Kelly Prize, or is on the list for it. And Ned Kelly was a notorious 19th century outlaw in Australia, and I guess was on the run a lot. I've read a lot about him. Well known. Maybe he must have liked to read too, because he's on several different books and reading awards. Besides being on that list, this is also on the UK Steel Dagger list. I've talked about the Dagger list before here. So as always, I've put both of these prizes below so you can see what else is on these prizes. Sometimes Australian books are kind of hard to get here, but I did decide to order this one since it's available in the US now on Amazon, and also there's a Kindle edition. So if it sounds good to you, you might want to try it. This author, Jacques Sarong, this is his second novel, and his first one won the Ned Kelly Award for first novel a couple years ago, I believe it was. So he's looking good. In fact, the Sydney Morning Herald, Australian papers, calls this a noir tour de force, original Australian crime fiction of first order. So let's see. He was a lawyer. He was formerly a lawyer, but now writes creative stories in surfing medium, and he does live on the coast of Victoria. So I assume he's quite a surfer. That sounds like an interesting life. Anyway, I've got enough started this book that I just really wanted to talk about. It sounds good, and maybe somebody else will read with me. It opens with a almost what we call a prologue, as so many of these books seem to do, where they tell what the situation is now, and then they go back in time on the next chapter or the first chapter and tell how the characters got into that situation. So this was a very definitive situation. It has a middle-aged man or young man, you can't tell what he is. He's going to be our narrator, but he is locked in the back of a moving vehicle in the trunk. We call it, I guess, maybe you call it boot, or some places call it that boot. But he's locked in there. He's tied up. He's been shot in the knee, and it shows him thinking all the ways that he's heard of or about escaping or getting out of this situation like this. So he does start to try to knock the tail light out, and but then he starts getting carbon monoxide fumes. So it kind of leaves him stuck in that position, and then it goes back to the start of the story, and it is two brothers who are very interested in cricket. Now, there's been a lot of books about cricket lately, and it's caused me to kind of look up cricket. Of course, we don't do a lot of cricket here in the U.S., but I know it's really, really the most popular sport in a lot of countries. So I've learned a little bit about it, and it appears that some people just naturally have a knack. I mean, I'm sure they're they practice, but there's some that pro cricket players that appear to have this great skill from the first, and they have great adulation for him. That's a so many people are interested in this, and this is the story of two brothers that grow up and are very talented in this area. They live with a single mom, and she's quite a spark as far as getting them into different leagues and getting equipment for them and being their main cheerleader. So that's a fun part to read. So I'm pretty sure they're going to get famous, and then something's going to happen where one ends up in this car on his way to what he thinks is going to be his death. So I just wanted to talk about it today before I finished it. So maybe somebody else is reading it or would like to read it. You can get it right on Kindle. So I'll be back when I finish it to tell you how it ended. But so far, I'm really liking it. And I'll be back with some more tomorrow. Thanks.